We have some breaking news coming out for NANO Dimension or NNDM stock that should explain just why the revenue has been so much lower in 2020 compared to 2019. What do I think this means for the company? What share prices do I see the stock reaching in the future? And is it too late to buy it after this recent run-up? There's a lot to talk about today, so stay tuned guys. Looking at the stock chart, we see that the all-time highs for NANO Dimension was a couple weeks ago on the 4th of December, and it went on a downtrend after that. We tested the $6 levels twice, but that support level seems very strong. This is because that was the share price in their last share offering, which I will get into a bit more later. But today at the time of this video, we're up more than 4% to around $7.1, which is only a couple percent away from the all-time highs. So I think we can definitely see new records being hit quite soon. But as always, I like to focus on the long term when it comes to promising growth companies such as NANO Dimensions. So let's quickly go through what this company actually does. NANO Dimension, ticker symbol NNDM, provides 3D printing machines for use with semiconductors and other advanced electronics. The share price of NNDM really started to go up after their earnings report on November 12th. What is interesting is that the sales and earnings were actually below the expectations of the analyst, but the positive outlook they provided in this report, along with the semiconductor space being in the spotlight right now, led to the crazy bullish sentiment we have seen these past weeks. Obviously, these guys are at their early growth stage, and I can totally understand why they don't care too much about their earnings report numbers, but rather about their game plan to grow and become a major contender in their space. And recently, it doesn't seem like they are not the only ones who believe in this game plan. They have managed to raise hundreds of millions of dollars, and very recently they signed another agreement to raise another $180 million, selling 30 million shares for a share price of $6 each. That's historically a quite high price, and I think it is very bullish for NNDM that the financial institutions are willing to buy their stock even at those levels. That might even be able to create a safety level for NNDM, because if the financial institutions see $6 a share as a good share price, then the average investor with a long-term mindset would see anything below that as an instant buy in my opinion, and thus driving the share price back up right above that $6 levels if it ever would go down. And among the financial institutions, we have the famous ARK Invest, who prides themselves on investing in disruptive and sustainable innovation that makes the world a better place. And at this point, these guys own $28 million worth of shares in NANO Dimension, which is a lot if you consider the size of this company. And they just keep buying more and more shares every week, quite consistently. So now let's go right into the breaking news. And that is that NANO Dimension just released an updated investors presentation where sure, most pages already existed in other presentations, but they did some interesting revisions to explain certain numbers. For example, NANO Dimension had substantial drops in revenue this year compared to last year. At first glance, this looks really bad, since they have grown their revenue consistently at a high rate for many years up until 2019. But they explained the reason for this very well in an entire section in this report. They said that due to the pandemic, all present customers were out of office for a very long time, and some still even are. Among other reasons, they also said that many labs that use their printers are shut down, and that most of their customers are also waiting for suppliers to visit for maintenance of these printers, which makes new installations impossible. So this should definitely boost investor confidence, because now we understand that the recent underwhelming revenue has nothing to do with the actual fundamentals of NANO Dimension, but rather because of an outside event they can't possibly have control over, which will soon be a thing of the past. I personally think these guys have tremendous potential for the future. 3D printers are becoming more and more used in so many different fields, and I think NNDM has found a nice niche to focus on here. It seems like they have a bunch of customers, including certain US government agencies, leading European research agencies, and electronic manufacturing organizations, all owning one or more of their so-called Dragonfly printing machines. And guys, the 3D printing industry is growing faster than ever. Management consulting company McKinsey recently reported that 3D printing is ready to emerge from its niche status and become a viable alternative to conventional manufacturing processes in an increasing number of applications. In 2014, sales of industrial-grade 3D printers in the United States were already 1/3 the volume of industrial automation and robotics sales, and some projections have that figure rising to 42% by 2020. So what share prices do I think NNDM stock will reach in the future, and do I think it is a good stock to buy right now despite the recent run-up we have seen? So this company has a market cap of around $1 billion. And working in a market with such a high potential, we can instantly see that they will have so much more room to grow. I definitely think it is worth buying right now, but I would want to hold it for the long term, since I'm really not much of a trader, to be honest. And looking at the future share prices, there are already a bunch of analysts looking at targets of above $10, and there is so much option money betting on prices above $10. So I definitely think we will get there quite soon. Now, for the longer term, the lowest estimates I have seen for the global 3D printing market is around $3 billion for 2026. And this being a $1 billion company right now should speak for the potential. Even with a fraction of the market, NANO Dimension could easily be valued 5 times of what it is right now. So for the long term, I'm looking for $40 or even $50 share prices. As always though guys, make sure to not go all in on this with your money, because the stock market is simply risky in nature. Diversify your portfolio and own many different stocks so you never go bankrupt if one single stock wouldn't work out as planned. And even though I'm clearly bullish on NANO Dimension or NNDM stock, make sure to do your own research on the stock market and on this stock and make your own decisions, since I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just stating my opinion here. And with that, I won't conclude today's video. If you enjoyed this one, make sure to give it a like to help us reach out to more people about NNDM stock and just show them the case of the stock and the pros and cons of it. It's the absolute best way you can support me. Also, if you watched all the way to this point and if you enjoyed the content, of course, subscribe to the channel and I will make sure to provide more updates for you. Something like 90% of you guys are not subscribed right now, so if you wanted to do so, that would be absolutely awesome, and maybe we can even get to 10,000 subscribers by the end of this year. Thank you for watching and enjoy the rest of your day.